106.7 WIZN. It's Pearl Jam. Better Man. Heard Pat Benatar. Before that, Joe Vega taking you through your Wednesday rock and ride home. And I'm joined now by Paul Harding from Martin Harding and Mazzotti. Hello, Paul.
Joe, how are you?
I'm doing good. So I'm calling you today because of, in the last election, one of the bigger stories was that Oregon, the state of Oregon, became the first state to decriminalize small amounts of basically all drugs. We're talking heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and basically there's going to be no jail time if you're caught with these drugs. If you're caught in possession of these drugs, it's going to be something, I guess, similar to a traffic ticket. Is that right?
Sure, it's a $100 fine, so as you said, cocaine, heroin, Oxycontin, meth, all the stuff that all those shows are made up of, right?
Right.
Those are the big drug crime shows. Here's the difference. What they're taking into consideration is that the folks who have small amounts of this, who possess it, what they need is rehabilitation. So they're not saying, hey, guys, in fact, we're just going to give you guys a green light. They got to pay a $100 fine. We're saying we're not going to put you in prison.
Right.
And marijuana, of course, recreational is used out there, and they're going to use that tax money to set up just different programs for these folks. But the people who are selling it, still criminalized,
Gotcha.
Still go to jail. So that's the general theme with this new statute. But it certainly was a headline catcher.
Do you know what the federal government had to say about this? Because I remember when Colorado legalized marijuana, right? They were the first state to do that. And there was a 60 Minutes news story that I saw where basically the federal government said, no, we're against it, but there's nothing we can do about it. Are they kind of taking the same stance as far as you know?
They haven't said officially, but you can imagine, right? So now the federal government is going to get someone who's got just a little bit of cocaine on him and charge him federally. In theory, they could. But
Right.
I think it's going to follow the path of marijuana. Yes, it's still illegal under federal law, but we're going to let the states defer to this kind of thing. If they had come forth and said, well, selling this is okay, I think the federal government would have come forth and said, no, we're going to step in. But, one of the things, these psychedelics, the mushrooms,
Right.
that also is now legal for therapeutic sessions, whatever those words mean. I don't know
Right.
what the you don't have to have a doctor next to your name to do therapy in Oregon. So these therapeutics are also back on the non-criminal list.
Wow.
Yeah.
So LSD, is that?
It's a psychedelic. I
Yeah.
think it qualifies. They have it under the mushroom category.
Right.
I need to brush up on my on my drug understanding, but
Just watch The Wire. It'll tell you everything you need to
I'm
know.
going to go back and, it's about 13 years of Wire. Yeah, I got to just jump in anywhere, and I could probably pick up on it within a few episodes.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that clarification. Paul Harding from Martin Harding and Mazzotti. Thanks for coming on, Paul.
All right, Joe. Nice talking to you.
Remember, you can call Paul or any of the lawyers at Martin Harding and Mazzotti at any time at 1-800-LAW-1010 or go online to 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Stay tuned. Mel Allen takes over. He's got music from Pink Floyd and Cheap Trick next.